Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is January the 24th, and if you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button for Daily Canucks Insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Yes, it is 124-24. The Canucks lost 4-3 to the St. Louis Blues in overtime. Can I just say this? Why are all St. Louis Blues goalies annoying? You can answer in the chat if you want, but to me, Jordan Binnington has always been annoying to me, and now the Joel Hofer guy is very annoying to me as well. And I'm not being a poor sport. I know the Canucks are still number one in the league. I know we can't win every game, but there's still something about St. Louis Blues goalies that are annoying to me. Tell me if you feel the same way. Let me know in the chat. I'd love to know if do I sound like a bitter old man, or is it something about them that annoys you as well? Yes. All right, let's get going. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, as legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support. And you guys know how much I appreciate you. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, we're in my beautiful neighborhood in Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world. Thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me right now, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved in the show right now. You can subscribe so you can get active in the chat section and get my videos every single day. You can like this video. There are 55 of you in here already, which is awesome. So let's get those likes up to about 25 to 30. You guys know how much I like that 50% rule. And you like the fact that we're together. You don't have to like the fact that the Canucks won. Like the fact that the Canucks got a point. And like the fact that Pius Shooter, yes, I think I was the first one to use that name on Twitter. Not that it's amazing or anything like that. Maybe someone else has said it before. Even Jeff Patterson used it tonight, called him a Suitor, the Shooter. But yes, Pius Shooter with his hat trick. Pretty awesome. I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership. That is a $5 donation, and give someone free membership. And for a free franchise membership for a month, you can do that. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership messages. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Hello to everyone watching on Instagram. Hello to everyone watching on Facebook. And of course, hello to everyone watching in YouTube. Thanks for being here. And yeah, tonight, looking forward to hanging out with you, chatting about this game. So I'll give a few thoughts on the game. Obviously, I wasn't at it. I was, not obviously, some of you wouldn't know. Wednesday night's my church night. So I was running religious education classes. So I was not at the game, but I'm happy to be with all of you. So I'll break down the game a little bit, not too much, then do my mid-show sponsor read, and then leave plenty of questions for your questions. Plenty of time. Did I say plenty of questions? Plenty of time for your questions. You can tell when I'm not fully conscious, like I'm fully with you, I'm fully engaged. I am fully present to all of you. But I do admit, sometimes I think about what I'm going to say next. And I realize anytime you hear, I got to catch myself. Anytime you hear my voice trailing off, or especially if you hear me start to mix up words, it's because, yes, I'm present, but I'm also thinking about what I am going to say next. Before we get going, I want to recognize a couple of people being very, very generous, and they're both legends. That's why. Legendary Lucas Gates. All right, Lucas, the legend himself, $7 donation. The news I have coming for February will be announced tomorrow, but it's not February yet, Lucas. It should be January news. That's awesome. Looking forward to hearing, reading, seeing what it is. That is great. Like, sub, become a member, and more fought for a point. Yeah, we did fight for a point, and that's not bad. But I think we could have had both of them, to be honest with you. So I'm wondering what's sticking out. It looks like a piece of tape is sticking out. That's fine. We're not going to worry about it right now. So thank you, Lucas. Let's give Lucas some love in the chat. And yes, I can't wait to see what that announcement is all about. And then we have Carol and Adam. Don't tell her to stop. I rather like it when Carol gifts donations. We got the legend herself, Carol Bovelander, coming through with another 5 membership gifts. That's $25 in donations and 5 free memberships. We got a Kiran Wang. I hope I said that right and I didn't say anything bad. We have Jet, we have Mark, we have Curtis, and we have Gurman. These, I think, are 5. Are they all 5 brand new names? 5 new members to the CCCC, Clay's Canucks Commentary Crew. Thank you, Carol. So let's give Carol some love in the chat for sure. And let's also give a big thank you. A big welcome to Kiran, Jet, Mark, Curtis, and Gurman. So the legends coming through, legends coming through with early donations. I appreciate it. I'm just looking at one comment. Where is it? It's pretty funny. Jason, are you going to have your Mean Girls on the stream tonight that you posted on X? Yes, I did go to. Oh, that's right. That's right. I did not see. I didn't stream last night because I was watching Mean Girls. It ended at 10:35, 10:40. By the time I got to our parking, got to my office to drop off Gil and Kayla, so they drove one car home. Yeah, I didn't get home until 11:20, so there's no way I could have streamed considering I was out the door at 11:45 to go to church. Gail, Mean Girl number 1, usually goes to bed before I start these streams. Mean Girl number 2, she's walking around making a costume for school tomorrow. And they're certainly not mean girls, but they certainly didn't mind me posting. I did a little funny post. I put it on Instagram, Facebook, and X, actually, just saying they should feel right at home tonight. And really quickly, I knew nothing about the show. Thank God it was easy to understand and easy to follow. It wasn't the most, you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to it. I just messed it up. Maybe, obviously I'm not the rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to figure it out, but it was a good show, entertaining. Music was okay. Actors, actresses, performers were quite good. Set was good. Costumes were quite bright and riveting. And the story itself was just meh. I've never watched Mean Girls. I never knew about it. I've heard of it, but I never took the time to learn about it. So I don't. Maybe it's more relevant for anyone who suffered through a bunch of high school drama. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was too boring. But overall, I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. Kayla really liked it, and I'm happy that she did, especially for the amount of money you spend on those type of tickets. It was a good show, but yes, didn't have time to come back and stream last night. Lucas, another donation. All I can say is this. It involves hockey and one quote. The next station is, and it involves hockey. What, you're making new SkyTrain announcements? A new station? Oh, no. But why would it involve hockey? So, Lucas, my guess was that they're going to expand SkyTrain to go to where your work is. All right, I'll stop guessing. I will just make sure that I'll make sure that I'm paying attention tomorrow to your socials so we can hear about this announcement. So, thank you again, Lucas, for the donation. Let's give some love to Lucas in the chat. Okay, before I talk about tonight's game, I will say the helmets just okay. And it has nothing to do with the fact that it looked like we were going to lose wearing them. It looked like, after being down 2-0 after the first. Remember, I didn't get to see the first 2 periods. So I came home because I was at church. I watched the 3rd period and the overtime. Then when I went back and watched the 2nd period, and I watched the goals from the first, and I watched the entire 2nd. I didn't have time to watch the entire game before coming on the stream, but I've watched enough, I've read enough, I've heard enough, and I've messaged a few of you already. So I think I have a good, and Jacob watched the whole game, so he filled me in. So I think I have a good sense of what happened. But right before I talk about the helmets, I want to welcome back Alfred to franchise membership. Alfred, transit expert. Alfred, I've been thinking about you over the past couple of days with the transit supervisor strike. Alfred, great to have you back. Franchise membership. He doesn't even wait to get to. He even doesn't wait to get gifted a membership. He does it himself. So, Alfred, welcome back, and let's give Alfred some hype, some love for buying his own membership. So let's talk about these helmets for like a minute. You know, I'm gonna end this poll because I want to know what you guys have to think. See, I did it again. You know that I'm trailing off, or I'm not concentrating when I trail off, or when I say something like I just said. So I asked the poll, how are you feeling about tonight's loss? 44% of you saying satisfied, they fought for their point. 27% of you saying disappointed. 13% of you saying enraged, probably at the refs, and I'll get to that. And then 13% of you saying feeling fine. We're still number one, kind of an acknowledgement that we're not going to win every single game. So my next poll question, they don't call them chrome, they call them the metallic helmets, and they're going to only wear it for one more game, and then they go to auction. So metallic helmets, love them, like them, dislike them, hate them. In the chat, put how you're feeling. Love them, like them, dislike them, or hate them. How are you feeling about these metallic helmets? And then I want to... Hey, Scott, nice to see you. Lucas, another donation. Thank you, Lucas. Says one more thing. This is something I designed. Oh, awesome. No wonder you're so excited. Can't wait. That's wonderful. Thank you for the donation, Lucas, and looking forward to seeing your design or whatever it may be tomorrow. That's pretty sick. That's awesome. Welcome, Scott. By the way, Luisa, she says she was at the game tonight, and about the helmet, she says the helmets aren't the best, but definitely not as bad as LA or Vegas chrome helmets. Those are terrible. Yeah, I didn't mind because I will say this. They're not completely different than our regular helmets. Obviously, it's a different shade because it's a metallic blue, shinier, whatever. They kind of pop a bit more, but it's not like it's a completely different color that clashes with our I almost said with our outfits or costumes. It's not Halloween. It doesn't clash horribly with our unis. And yeah, it's only a metallic version of the regular blue that's up there. So to me, I really didn't notice them until they did close-ups on the screen. So I didn't notice them in a good way. I didn't notice them in a bad way. So to me, I'm indifferent. And the fact that they're wearing them just one more game, it's really, we're by the end of the season, we're all going to forget about them anyways, unless in the next game we somehow win like 10-0 or lose 10-0. So overall, just meh. It was fine. No huge reaction out of me. I'm certainly not going to blame the helmets for our loss tonight. So really, when you look at tonight's game, before I even talk about the result, you guys know that on Canucks After Dark, I predicted a 3-1-1 homestand. 3-1-1, 7 out of 10 points. The Canucks won their first 3 games. They beat Arizona, they beat Toronto, they beat Chicago. So those were the 3 wins. So I'm not saying I told you so, but now there's their extra time loss. So if somehow they lose to Columbus, which I don't want them to do, but if they lose to Columbus on Saturday, then I was right, 3-1-1. I would love to be proven wrong, and the Canucks go 4-0-1. That's 2 more points than I predicted them to get. So that's the plan. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong when it's the Canucks outdoing my expectations or my predictions. But I think as easy as on paper, teams like St. Louis, Columbus, Chicago, Arizona are, they're 20 professionals playing on the ice, not all at the same time. That'd be too many men penalty times 15 or 15 times. But you know what I mean? Just because we want to win, just because we think we're good, doesn't mean we're always going to win. We have to remember that the other team sometimes is just as talented. They're trying just as hard, whatever it may be. So let's not freak out so much that the Canucks didn't win today. And I think the fact that they fought back for a point, they were down 2-0 in the third period. The fact that they fought back for a point and could have been 2, I take that as a positive. The one thing that I also, another thing I'm positive about is how much I'm annoyed by St. Louis goaltenders. Did I say that already? It was just the way that Hofer, every time he made a save with his glove, that he would, it's one thing if you make a windmill save and then your glove is already up there and you kind of flash it. Yeah, look at this. But 2 of them, he saved it with his glove from down near the ice. And then he raised his hand up, like showing everyone. So hear me out here. I actually think that maybe Phil Hronek, no, maybe there's a bit of a stretch, but tell me what you think of this argument. Maybe it got in Phil Hronek's head when he got that breakaway, that beautiful pass from Miller in the overtime. I think it's human nature. If I was Phil Hronek and I had Hofer shoving his mid up for the whole third period, I kind of would want to score on his glove side just to show, hey, you're not all that in a bag of chips. You're not even all that in a bag of Skittles. I can beat you on your glove hand that you keep showing. So maybe I'm reading too much into this, and I'm not sure if Hofer even thought like 2 steps ahead and saying, okay, I'm going to keep showing my glove. So then if we get to overtime, they're going to try and beat me on my glove side. All I'm saying is if I was Philip Hronek coming in and I had only 1 second to think, am I smart enough? Would I compute? No, Clay, don't shoot at his glove because that's where he likes making all these flashy saves. Go, as you said, Ricky, a 5-hole, or go somewhere else. Or would there be something in my head saying, no, man, this guy's been flashing his glove at me all night. I want to shoot it past his glove and show him that he's all not that good. So just kind of interesting that way. But he did make a good save on Hronek, and then he kept the puck in play. And then Pettersson actually made a very poor play. He fought the puck on that play. He overskated it, and then they lost control. Then St. Louis goes down, and that's when we see Braden Chen cross-check Petey in the crease. So yes, that should have been a penalty, I think. I think Petey, let's be honest, I think he sold it a little bit. Definitely he tried to draw the call, and that's natural if you're a skilled player because Petey draws a lot of calls for us, and we are the majority of the time a beneficiary of it. But I'm not sure if he could do it all again. Of course, if he knew that there was going to be no call, he wouldn't have done that. But even when I saw the replay, I thought it was a tiny bit of a flop, just a bit. Like I still think it should have been a penalty, but maybe the the referee right in front of it thought it was a bit of a flop. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you think. Or am I being uncharacteristically too harsh? I'm not blaming Petey. I'm just saying that was a tough sequence for him. He gave the puck up in the offensive zone. Then he got cross-checked. And then I don't think he screened DeSmith, but as he was getting up, he tried to stick his leg out to make the save. And just both him and DeSmith missed it. So just one of those things. And I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, Tyler, but actually I do think Petey was tired too. He was at the end of a long shift. Kind of going out of order here, but I don't want to break down every single goal. But what I will talk about is what I liked. Obviously, like Pius Suter getting his hat trick, all 3 goals in the third period. And kind of each one was kind of different. One of them was a backhand, a gritty one. One of them, he was all alone in the slot. And one of them was like a weird deflection play that it came off of the post and Miller, or both of them. And then Suter didn't even get all of it. And he scored. Kind of funny. I think because of the excitement of the crowd and not a clear look at it, they said on the broadcast, only one person threw their hat on the ice right after Suter scored. So only one person wanted to part with their hat. Only one person, though, kind of deciphered that it was Suter's hat trick goal. Then after they announced it, it was funny, actually. After the game ended, the regulation, there was obviously people throwing hats on the ice between the regulation and the overtime. But did you notice in the last 10 seconds, someone threw their puck, threw their hat behind the St. Louis goal? Then the St. Louis defenseman dragged the puck back behind his net to kill the last 10 seconds. I know did you guys see this? There was a red hat on the ice. So as Joshua came to check him, the St. Louis player actually shot. It was kind of funny, actually. It wasn't anything dangerous. He shot the hat at Joshua, and then time ran out. Did you guys notice that? I thought that was pretty funny. So obviously, I like Suter's game, and I like the fact that the Canucks came back and got a point out of this game. I also like the fact that they outshot the Blues by a huge margin, 10-5 in the second, 14-5 in the third. What I didn't like, I didn't think dismissed was that sharp. You just see it, 4 goals on 18 shots. Now, I know there's been a bit of debate in the chat. I still think he's been excellent. In fact, this is probably dismissed worst game of the year. Now I think about it, he's been excellent. His goal save percentage was basically identical to Demko's for a while, and he's been giving. Yeah, the DeSmith-Demko pairing has been giving me some Luongo Schneider vibes, admittedly. But I didn't like DeSmith's games tonight. Also, I didn't like well, I didn't get to see him play because I only watched the third period, but it sounds like that Zadorov barely played in the third period, if at all. I do know he was the GOAT on the third goal for St. Louis near the start of the third period, because he gave up the puck in the corner and then he did not check the goal scorer. What's his name? The Russian guy. He didn't check him in the slot. And I could tell that Tocchet wasn't very happy about that. Yeah. Toropchenko. Zadorov didn't tie up Toropchenko's stick. And then I don't think Zadorov, I'm not sure if he had a shift after that because he only had 12 minutes. So, if it's not Kuzmenko, it's Zadorov. So I'm not saying Tocchet has anything against Russians, but I know even people were worried if Kuzmenko was going to get benched after, first period where he just sat on the bench, then the second period where he took the 4-minute minor for cutting Sammy Blais. So that's one thing that I didn't like as well. Of course, I didn't like that cross-check on PD, even though I thought he sold it a little bit, but I think the refs got to have the courage to make that call. And I didn't like that hit on Oscar Sundqvist on Quinn Hughes behind the net. And you saw Quinn Hughes shaking it out, shaking his arm and shoulder out. So I hope he's okay. But I also hope it's not one of those where he wakes up tomorrow morning and then finds out that there's a lot of there's serious injury there. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I think the Canucks are practicing tomorrow. So hopefully we get good news tomorrow, as opposed to bad news. One other thing. Well, we got one more game to go. Hopefully the Canucks don't mail it in on Saturday. It's Lunar New Year celebration. So there should be a really good atmosphere in the arena. Remember, Columbus just beat us in the shootout a few days ago when we were winding up the road trip. So it'd be nice to go into the All-Star break with a win over them, winning 4 out of 5 on the homestand. So let me show you a couple of things real quick, and then we'll get into all of your questions and comments. I'll just end the poll about the domes right now. The chrome dome, the metallic. 38% of you saying dislike them. 38%. 36% of you said like them. So it's very close. Dislike them versus like them. Then we have 14% hate them, 10% love them. So 52% of you either dislike them or hate them. 46% of you either like them or love them. So close to 50-50, but actually more dislike than like. Let's look around the league. We look at the other good teams fighting us for first overall, and then we look at the Pacific Division. So the Jets lost in overtime, so they get a point, but they don't score a goal. Boston loses too. So the two teams we're fighting with both lost. Colorado won. I think both McKinnon and Ranson had 5 points. We have Seattle winning. We have us getting a point. And the Kings lost again. Oh, man, the Kings stink. The Kings stink. So then we go to the standings. Now, NHL wasn't updating it. Yeah, they still show us as 47, but we should have played 48 games. That's so weird. That's so weird. I wonder why. Maybe if I go this way. No, they're still showing us playing 47 games. So I'm going to go to TSN. Let's see if they have updated standings. Standings. Let's see. Okay, they have us at 48. So let's go division first. When it comes to the division, we are 7 points up on Vegas. We have 69 points in 48 games. That's 21 games over 500. So we are still 7 up on Vegas, equal number of games played. Edmonton is 14 behind us with 5 games in hand. So they could close to 4 points behind us if they win, and then LA continues to slip. Then we look at the league standings overall. By points, we are the top of the league. Boston has 1 game in hand, but they can only tie us. And Winnipeg has 2 games in hand, and they can only tie us. So this one actually doesn't have points percentage, but that means we're basically all about the same. So we don't have to keep using the points percentage excuse either. We can say that we are the number one team in the league. But you know what I was saying about why? I said this on Rev Trev stream. Why can't we win in extra time? We can't win in extra time. It's strange. We have 5 extra time losses, but you see, we only have 2 extra time wins. This is regulation overtime wins, basically everything. And this is only regulation wins. So it looks like to me, we are 2-5 in extra time. So we've gone extra time 7 times and we've only won 2 of them. So that's something I think that we should, that we may have to look at to get a little bit better. So a couple other talking points that I'd love to leave with you. Were you fine with the lotto line being split up? Obviously, it was Pettersson between the 2 Russians, and it was Besser, Miller, and Suter. And Suter ends up getting 3 goals. Miller gets an assist. I think Besser had 2 assists, and Pettersson on his own line with Kuzmenko. Okay, Pettersson had no points tonight. So are you fine with the lotto line being split up? Maybe it was kind of masked a little bit with Suter's hat trick. All right, let me do my Mitchell sponsor read, and then I'll turn it over to all of you. Shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform Personal Training Weight Loss. You can check them out at ptform.com. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. Thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Looking for tickets? Email me at canuckclay@gmail.com. I got one more show this week, tomorrow night at 11 p.m. and still selling seats to this Vegas trip, or at least helping to promote it. March 31st to April 3rd, 4 days, 3 nights. Game on Tuesday night, April 2nd, Canucks versus Golden Knights. $999 total based on double occupancy. Includes return airfare, airport transfers, 3 nights at the Park MGM, the game ticket. If you want to go, contact Neal Chark at neilc@uniglobecarefree.ca. That's neilc@uniglobecarefree.ca. He'll ask for a $200 deposit with the rest of it due at the end of this month. And make sure you mention me because he's tracking where sales are coming from. I think we have almost 24 people, at least 20 people going, mostly from my network, which is awesome. And also me, my son, Sean, my daughter, Kayla, and my mother, Joyce, are going. Trying to convince Gail to come as well, but then she'd have to miss 2 days of school of being a vice principal. I think it's worth it, but that's just my humble opinion. Mid-show reminder for you, for all of you, so to subscribe, to like the video, to leave a donation, to gift a membership, to become a member, to upgrade your own membership. We had all those things happen today except for the upgrade. And then if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Got a couple of special messages I want to acknowledge first. We have Beanchild been a member for 2 months. So Beanchild responding to my remark about how we were 2-5 in extra time. 2 of the overtime losses, though, were weak. This game and the Rangers one, both being lost due to missed call. Yeah, both on PD, actually, if memory serves me correct. But yes, they need to work on power play and OT. Beanchild, thanks for your membership. And thank you for using your 2-month membership message. Give some love to Beanchild in the chat. And then Alfred returns as a member and jumps right on in with the dono. I was there at the game, had a hat trick at first. First time to see this roster in person, sweet. First time to witness a hat trick, sweet. And to watch OT live, not so sweet, but I'm glad that you saw it. Awesome. Thank you, Alfred. Let's give Alfred some love in the chat. Want to also acknowledge Ryan. Ryan is in town. Ryan won one of my draws earlier this year. And then because he was getting married, he swapped his game. So his contest winning game is this Saturday against Columbus. But Ryan said, I flew into Vancouver to watch this game, so I'm very disappointed with that blatant missed call. I hear you, Ryan. Ryan, when are you married already, or do you get married on Friday? Or do you get married tomorrow? Or did you get married today? Ryan, let me know. Now I'm so confused. Because I thought that I know you're coming to watch the game after you got married. But I'm glad you're at the game. I'm glad you saw an exciting game. And I'm sorry they did not win for you. Let's go to questions only now. Who do you think will stop the oil streak? I actually thought it was going to be Calgary. If you guys remember, I thought it was going to be Calgary on the weekend, but that didn't happen. So I'm just looking at the Oilers schedule right now. So they have Chicago and Nashville left. You know, anything can happen, but I think they win those two. And then they have Vegas, Anaheim, LA. Let's say they lose their first game out of the All-Star break because Vegas is mad that they didn't have anyone at the All-Star game. So let's say Vegas will be their first loss. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Who would be my three Canuck stars tonight? Pius Suter 1, Brock Besser 2, Quinn Hughes 3. Your thoughts on Pettersson getting called up by Talkett tonight after the game? He said he isn't playing well for the past 3-4 games. I actually agree. He needs to up his play level. I haven't heard the post game yet. I was preparing for this show. I'm not sure how Talkett called PD out, but yeah, I'd agree that PD has not been at his best. The Lotto line did not produce for 3 straight games, 2 or 3 games. That's why they got split up. And then I did not think that PD was great tonight. It all depends. How did he say it though? Did it come out? Did it come across okay, Nux, or was it kind of mean by Talkett? Hey, Dare, am I concerned that the Canucks could make a deadline deal dealing a top prospect for a rental? The prospect to pool is still too thin to do this without jeopardizing the future. So, Darren, I hear you, but then the counter argument to that would be, what future are you looking at from a standpoint of, if you have an opportunity to win now, win this year, go all in, we may never ever be first in the league at the end of January again. So isn't this the year to do it, when you can have the money, you can still entice PD to stay, all those type of things. So that's one, and I've made videos about that. That's one reason why you could go all in. I think as long as you're not trading Verlander or Lekkerimäki, I think you're okay. There's no other prospect or pick that I'd be tied to. Even if you trade our first overall pick for 2024, it's going to be in the bottom 5 of the first round. So I know it, but if the rental results in us winning, then I think we'd all agree it'd be worth it. Yes, Scott, I do think Suter does stay in PB1, especially as Kuzmenko's not doing much. Ryan, I'm such a moron. Okay, that makes sense. We are married. We got married November 4th. The tickets I won were for October 31st, which just 5 days before the wedding, which is busy time. That's why we swapped. I understand. So the original ticket you won, were too close to the wedding. So you got married 2 months ago, and now you're here with your wife. Awesome. Well, congratulations to you and your bride, Ryan. And I hope you see a win on Saturday. Canucks could have 71 points at the All-Star break if they beat Columbus. They had 83 last season. How incredible is that? Very, very incredible. Very incredible. Oh, I was supposed to put this on the stream, but it didn't show up. Hold on. Right there. Do you finally believe me that LA will be slipping in hopes to miss the playoffs? That Blues win was necessary that they can climb back to wild card. I believe you that I'm surprised that LA is slipping so badly for sure. A lot of people are talking about them winning the division. Hello, Lori. Nice to see you. Okay, it came out motivating way. Do I blame the Smiths for tonight's loss? Not just him, but he didn't help. He did not help. He made 14 saves. You got to make more than that. He didn't help. I'm just trying to think of the goals. Second one, he had no chance. First one, first one's more defensive blunder. The overtime, could he have stopped? I don't know. That's tough. And the third one was on the power play. Yeah. I don't know. I think you need him to make one of those saves, I think. Oh, thanks, Justin. I haven't liked his game the last 3 or 4. We need to get him going. He needs to skate. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you typing that out. SDPN was talking about the Lotto line not playing well lately. They said it wouldn't make sense to split them up since more likely they'll play out of the slump. Yeah, but you can't wait for them if other lines aren't going, though. I think that's the trick. Okay, we're gonna get back to questions. Do you think Abby is going to miss the playoffs? HL playoff format is confusing, but it looks like they will still make it. But I hope Paz, Baines, Carlson, and we will get to join instead of team trading. Yeah, I know they aren't doing great, Fillmore, but I don't know where they are in the standings. Hey, Rev Trev, nice to see you. Thank you. Why did SDPN get shut down? SDPN didn't get shut down, but Game Over did. The 7 shows across Canada. Obviously, we weren't happy about it, but they weren't making enough in revenue and sponsorship money to keep it afloat. My wife says, thanks for the congratulations you just gave us. Oh, you're most welcome, Ryan's wife. Oh, right. She's actually listening to the show or watching me? Go do something else. Something more important. Target has a reputation as the Kessel whisperer. Worth a look before the playoff. It's funny. I hear very little about Kessel, much more about Gensel. I don't even know. Where's Kessel playing right now? What's he doing? Is he in shape? Did you hear about Houston? I think it was potentially. No, the news silver that came out today was Utah. Utah potentially getting, or not potentially getting team, at least interested. Do I think Demko would have made those saves? In my heart of hearts, I think he makes at least one of them. I really do. But don't get me wrong. I'm not ragging on Smith for a poor season. It was a poor outing today. He's been good, though. He's been good this year. Awesome, Laura. You won the first goal. Did you actually win something? What do you win? You won the guess the first goal. Like you just guessed yourself, or you actually won something. Oh, by the way, I was scared that it was going to be 4-2 Blues, right? When it was 3-2 for them, and all it takes is for an empty netter. But 4-2 games don't happen either way. Why didn't Canucks tough guys fight the Blues, players making cheap shots? Was it because they're behind on goals? That's definitely a big factor, Fillmore. When you're down, you don't want to take the penalty that negates your chances of catching up. Thoughts on the Utah Jazz ownership asking to open an expansion process? Kind of interesting, because why would you move from a perfectly symmetrical 32 teams to a 33 team league? I think this is more of a relocation thing. Do I think the 5 players involved in the Hockey Canada assault case will be in the league again if they're found guilty of charges? I think it depends on the charges. I've always said, D-Tran, that sports in particular are a very forgiving environment, and people love redemption stories. And I'm not at all, I can't say whether people will even want to see these players in the league again. I know there's already people fighting. There's people standing up for them saying, aren't you innocent until proven guilty? But the fact that these players are being taken leave of absences, being basically summoned to London, Ontario to face charges, it's a very sad situation. And it's hard to say if they're ever going to play again. I really think it depends on the charges. I really do. Some of you saying they don't. Nux 649 says no way they step foot in this again. I truly think it depends on the way the charges are laid. Sorry, how they're found guilty or not, and obviously a guilty verdict would make it a lot less likely that they play again. Canucks have been linked to a trade where the Canucks get both Tarasenko and Giroux. Would we have the best top 6 in the league if that happened? I think they're both beyond their years. I think a team like Colorado might argue about top 6 but yeah, if you're basically putting in Tarasenko and Giroux instead of Kuzmenko and Mikheyev, then your top 6 is the Lotto line, Tarasenko, Giroux, and then pick one of Kuzmenko, Suter, Höglander. It's pretty close. I like Casey Middlestat. I don't know what his contract is. I don't know what he's been up to. But I also haven't heard these talks. So where are they coming from, Scott? Free agent Clay. Who, me? Oh, because of SDPN. What did you think of Kuzmenko sitting at the bench? I wonder what the response from the team was in the locker room. What will break the Kuzi funk? I actually thought, so sitting at the bench, I saw that at the end of the first period. I don't know if anyone's sitting in the Canucks locker room saying, hey, where's Kuzi? We can't start talking to each other or talking strategy until he gets in here. I don't know. Maybe he just needed a moment. Yeah, but it's quite striking. It's when he's the only one on the bench. As opposed to answer your question about what will break the Kuzi funk, I thought it was broken last game when he had 2 assists, including that dazzling assist to Suter. So I don't know. Oh, Kessel's UFA. Thank you. Cooking up some hot dogs. Why not about Gensel only? Just go get both Kessel and Gensel. Yeah. Both ex-Penguins, or one playing for them right now. Dylan Dubé is off the Flames roster on the NHL app. Thoughts? Well, all I can say is there's been a few players that have become inactive over the past couple days. Doug, I think Zadorov's been okay. When he's confident on his game, he's making good passes. He's getting the puck up ice, but he's not trying to do too much. So admittedly, a lot of my misgivings about Zadorov so far have been turnovers. But today I saw, at least on that one goal, that he doesn't always play strong defensively despite his big size. Sweet, Lori, what do you win? That's awesome. Hey, Adrian, I talked about the helmets already. I just said they're okay. But the fact that they're only one more game, I'm not going to spend too much energy on them for sure. Looking for more questions. Did I know that PD stopped playing Lotto and played Russian roulette? Very good, Filmer. Very good. Could you have a lot of Pepsi in your house? I'm out of Pepsi. You can send some away. No, I'm only have a Coke right now, bottle of Coke. Canucks had scouts in Ottawa. Ah. Yeah, that's the thing, Justin. I think Avs top 6 pretty scary. All right, Ryan. Welcome to town, and I hope you see a win on Saturday. Enjoy your few days in the city. PD didn't make their line great, but what do you think about Suter with JT and Brock? I want to see it a bit more, but obviously tonight they were going quite well, and maybe Suter is the best option, better than PDG on that line, better than Höglander. We'll see. Just looking for questions. Does it bother you that Cal Foot is involved, which can affect his dad? It bothers me that any players involved. It bothers me that this happened, and I honestly haven't given a thought about Cal Foote, Adam Foote, Canucks coach. To be honest with you, Filmer. Yes, I will be at the Buffalo game in March. I only went to one game in January. So my last game was December 14th. And then I went 2 nights ago on January 22nd to see the Blackhawks. And then I'm not in the arena again until, because I'm not going on Saturday. So yeah, I went December 14th. Then I went over a month, the January 22nd. Here. So then for the rest of the season, I'm there on February 17th, Jets. I'm there on March 19, Buffalo. I'm there on March 25, Kings. I'm there on March 28th, Stars. I'm there on April 8th, Vegas. And I'm there on April 16th, Calgary. So yeah, I only have one game in February. And then I'm at 3 in March and then 2 in April. So I still have 6 or 7 games left, but I just, it was really dry for January and February. Okay. Are you hoping you won't drink as much of it, Coke? Huh? What does that mean? Ask it again. Clay, who is my favorite Canucks player? Now it's probably Quinn and Brock. What player is growing on me the most? That's a good question. Probably Suter and Bluger are 2 acquisitions. Do I prefer the skate or the Orca? I prefer the skate, but I'm not such a like skate only. I don't mind the Orca too. Oh, sweet. You're getting married on March 18th and then you're going to the game on the 19th. Awesome. Maybe I'll be one of the first to congratulate you, except for everyone that's at the wedding. Do you think PD is worth 12 to 13 million when he can't seem to carry his own line? PD was under a point per game for the last 25 games before being reunited with Lottline, but exploded once with Miller. Yeah, that's a good point. Just like we keep saying that Hronek's value is being artificially boosted by playing with Hughes. I never thought about that. Maybe there's a bit of that with PD as well. Wow. I never thought about that. How do you think Chilliwack native Zach Benson doing? West Coast Amusements? He's doing great. He's doing great. Clay, you must cut back on the Coke and Pepsi. No wonder you get only 4 to 5 hours sleep. Thank you, Dad. No, thanks, Jay. I appreciate that, truly. Okay, see, this is the same can. It's empty. It's empty. But I have it there for sponsor purposes, even though they're technically not a sponsor anymore. But I always feel tied to Pepsi for the rest of my life because of that billboard. Clay, thoughts on Hughes on being paced for 101 points? McCarr being paced on 102. There's never been 2 NHL defensemen 100. That's awesome for both of them. I think if they keep going like this and they both finish with an equal number of points, even though McCarr's points per game is better because he'll play fewer games likely, I still think Hughes wins because of how good of a story the Canucks are and captain and a lot of his metrics for sure. Unsung hero. It would have been Lafferty at the start of the season. Might have been Cole or Susie if they played more, but I'm going to go with one of the two, a Bluger or Suter. Bluger or Suter. No, just a reminder that people are allowed to express their opinion, and just because it doesn't jive with yours doesn't mean you have to infer that, yeah, just respect each other for sure. What is your most prized piece of Canucks memorabilia? You know, D-Tran, it's funny. I actually don't have a lot of memorabilia. I have a lot of clothing. I have jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, which I don't wear because I look like a 12-year-old. Obviously picture frames. Don't other frames that I don't have up. But I bobbleheads, mugs. Well, I guess that is a lot of memorabilia then. But I also don't I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not a collector of things though. So I don't go and spend money or try and get signed posters, for instance, or signed jerseys. Having said all of that, though, because he's my favorite player, I'd say my most prized one is my signed Roberto Luongo jersey, signed by him, obviously. So I guess if I had to pick one, that would be my most prized possession. Good question. All right, Bean Child, I will. This is twice in a week that you're kind of towing the line and crossing it. So I want you here. I want you here, though, in a positive way and not basically picking fights with other people in the stream. Thank you. Clay, thoughts on WWE coming to Netflix next year? How will that turn out? I think this will expand the game a lot more. They're certainly being innovators. They're the first, whether they call it sports league or sports franchise or sports whatever, I know they call themselves sports entertainment. Yeah, it could be a game changer. And WWE has never been afraid to be an innovator and be a pioneer. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. Like, I don't even know how this affects their premium live events as well, what they used to call pay-per-views. But yeah, definitely always looking to innovate for sure. Hey, Jacob, no, the Canucks outshot the Blues 32-18. I wouldn't say the Canucks played bad. I'd say St. Louis was more opportunistic, and the Canucks certainly dominated the third period. They outscored the Blues 3-1. So it was an okay game. It was an okay game. You want to see them get two, but you are happy that they got a point. If you go to an 6 away, if you go to an away game, Steve, ask me again. Maybe Vancouver should let PD go. I seem like everyone just try to find issues with him not playing good. Don't smile. Don't like to talk to media. He always has my 100% support. Yeah, a small part of me wonders if he's going to think that. I don't know if Pettersson has a desire to be really well liked, truly, or maybe he just has a desire to be the best player he can be and dominant, regardless if people like him. Maybe he has a desire to be very rich. I don't know. I do like him a lot, and I think it'd be foolish. And not that we're going to go do this, but it'd be foolish to give up on him or to play hardball with him when he could be one of the best players we've had ever. Yeah, Lori. No, thank you. I saw your multiple answers. Thank you. Do you think Hughes is okay? Was worried that he might not be in the next game. Yeah, and it would suck if he got hurt right before All-Star, considering he's involved so much. So we'll see. I think we'll find out more tomorrow. If he practices tomorrow, then we're fine. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, then we should worry. Lots of Canucks are having good seasons, but how is McKinnon and Kucherov just in another league? Yeah. Do you think McKinnon will end the season with at least 1 point in every home game? 24 down, 17 to go. I think there's going to be one game where Colorado just lays an egg, but he's already gone 50%, but I don't think he's going to go all 41. Who do I think wins the women's? And I think it's going to be Bailey and CM Punk. Which of the Canadian teams besides the Canucks have surprised you? Definitely Winnipeg, for sure. What other NHL stadium would you want to go see the Canucks play for the first time? I love to watch the Canucks in Vegas. Oh, I'm going to be doing that in April. I love to watch a game in Nashville. I love to watch a game in Madison Square Garden. I love to watch a game in Toronto. New refs get them from the WWE, says D-Tran. Nux thinks it's going to be a maintenance day for Hughes. Yeah, and then we're going to all be left to speculate. I don't think he has a number one goal to be liked or not unliked. Number one goal is to win, for sure. For sure. We are at 55 minutes. I think there's a good place to end. And thank you everyone for being here as always, and for coming on a night where I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't watch the whole game, so I wasn't like super frustrated for the first couple periods. What I saw was 3 goals by the Canucks, all by PS Shooter, and then 1 by the Blues, and then an unfortunate loss in overtime. So I'm okay. I'm okay with tonight's loss, considering we got a point and that we had won the previous 3 games on the homestand. So we got one more, hosting Columbus on Saturday, but I have one more show for this week, and that will be tomorrow night at 11 p.m. So I hope you can join me at that time. Moderators, thank you for doing what you needed to do. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovelander, legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support as always. And to everyone else for watching, for subscribing, for liking. I always appreciate you, and I never ever take you for granted. For those of you that went above and beyond today, Lucas with multiple donations, Carol gifting 5 memberships, Alfred getting his own membership, Bean Child using a membership message, and then Alfred giving a donation. Thanks to all of you for your generosity. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform, Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. And don't forget, email me. A bunch of you did last night. I sent out three emails today. If you want my Canucks ticket list, email me at canuckclay@gmail.com. And if you want to go to Vegas, write to Neal Chark, neilc@uniglobecarefree.ca. If you're watching on Instagram, thank you, Instagram. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you, Facebook. And to all of you watching on YouTube, thank you as well. I will be back here 23 hours from now at 11 p.m. We won't be talking about any game, but any news that comes, maybe some Quinn Hughes injury news, and then we can set up the game against Columbus, even though that is still a couple of days away. All right, friends, I hope you have a really good rest of the night. I hope you have a really good day tomorrow, and I hope to see you tomorrow night, same time and same place. So as always, stay safe. Oh, on your way out, I always forget this. On your way out, you can leave a late donation. You can gift a late membership. You can subscribe, like the video, become a member, or upgrade your membership. And now we can go. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Thanks for coming and watching tonight. You guys, not to brag, but I recently got hired as a fitness model. Yes, a fitness model. They're going to use me as the before picture. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.